Welcome back to the dojo, everybody. This is True Talk with TRUMOTION, where a couple of guys talk about how to make the world a better place. Hopefully make your day a little bit better in the process. My name is Mark, followed by my co-host Stephen.
Good morning.
Let's get things kicked off. Well, first off, we'll just kind of do our nice little weekly recap. But before we do that, we just want to make sure we send out like all our prayers and, positive energy to the people of California.
Yeah.
We were just kind of talking off air about, the tragedy that's happening and just people just losing virtually everything. So having been close to somebody that has lost their home due to a fire, with Tony Davis, we've had him on the show. Mm-hmm. He did lose his home to a house fire. We know the process that it takes to get back to normal, and it's a long one. Yeah. So we're hoping the people that have been affected by the fires in California stay safe, stay strong. It's going to be a long road ahead, but you guys can do it. And we're rooting for you. Regardless of what you think of California, the people are good. Like, there are a lot of good people in California.
Yeah, there's good people.
So we wish you a speedy recovery. Hopefully they can get those fires contained and stopped. And it stops looking like a movie.
Right.
Like a movie that's like apocalyptic style. So wishing for the best for you, California. But moving on with the show, we like to do our weekly recap. Stephen?
This was an interesting week.
It was an interesting week.
Started getting back into the normal routine, which is good.
Yes.
Obviously, we're working through things as a student body and as instructors, and I think ultimately we're turning our course. We're heading in the right direction.
Yes, Tuesday's class was very difficult for a lot of people. That was the first day back without Liam, and a lot of students were affected. Yeah. A lot of students were affected. We'll just kind of leave it at that in terms of I don't want to really shout people out in that aspect, but a lot of students were having a very hard time, and the energy in the studio was very off. Mm-hmm. So, Tuesday and Wednesday were tough. Wednesday was tough because that would have been Liam's 5-year anniversary. Yeah. So, his parents will be going to the 5-year dinner next month.
That's good.
We'll make sure that happens. They know about it. Obviously, I'm going to keep them in the loop about it. Right. So, but each class is getting a little bit better each and every time. Thursday's class was far better than Tuesday's class. So, we'll kind of see how tomorrow goes, being the first sparring class. Liam loved to spar. He'd like to mix it up with everybody. So, it was a very interesting week. But like you said, I think we're turning the corner.
We had a lot of intros this week too.
A lot of new bodies, new faces in the studio. So it should be good. But we're going to be putting together a shirt that's dedicated towards Liam. It'll say hashtag I am strong, TRUMOTION, and then Liam Fowers, and then 2009 to 2024. And the proceeds of that T-shirt sale will go to Liam's family. So we will have the shirt up on the merch store. So if you are not in the dojo and you would like to purchase one as a fundraiser for Liam's family, not that they need it, but we just want to do what we can to give back. Feel free to go onto the merch store. We'll leave a link in the description down below, and you can go there and pick up a shirt for Liam. So, but speaking of Liam, now we're moving on to the new section, Liam's Facts. All right, before we ask this week's question, last week's question was, in 1943, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers combined teams due to World War II. What was the team name? The answer to that question is the Steagles.
The Steagles.
Yes, they were called the Steagles for one season. And then when all the men came back...
The Eilers.
The Eilers?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. But it is the Steagles.
Nice.
So,
good fact.
This week's question, I had no idea the answer, so I thought it'd be fun to ask this question. This week's Liam's Facts question is, how long did Sleeping Beauty sleep?
Whoa.
So if you would like to know the answer, make sure to turn in next week. But that is this week's question.
Also, please comment if you know the answer.
Yes.
Or email us at trutalktuesdays@gmail.com.
There you go.
We will shout out people who have guessed it correctly.
Yes, we will. So if you know the answer, leave it in the comments below or send us an email. But we'll see what we can see how many people know that. I had no idea.
Right.
So I'm not saying that just because I don't know, nobody else can know, but there's highly fair chance that not too many people know this.
That's okay.
But all right, moving on to a word from our sponsor.
Ninjas in the house.
You check it, Dojo Vibes, got something to share. TRUMOTION merch shop, got that ninja flair. Shirts and hoodies, slick like Bruce Lee. Karate thread sharp like a kick to the knee. Custom names and colors like a lightsaber's glow. You're the Jedi, watch how your style gon' flow. Scan that code, jump in, it's time to score. With gear so fresh, you'll be wanting more. TRUMOTION merch where the fit's on point. Dressing up clean like $1 billion joint. TRUMOTION, safe stacks like Bruce. Get your swag right, man, no excuse. From the mat to the street, stepping like Jan. Gear so fly like your own stunt man. Personalize it like your own Stark Tech. Karate gear tight like a chop to the neck. You name your colors like a comic book villain. Step in the light while you're laid back chillin'. Scan the code, it's your time to rise. With your motion gear, you'll take the prize. TRUMOTION merch where the fit's on point. Dressing up clean like $1 billion joint. TRUMOTION, safe stacks like Bruce. Get your swag right, man, no excuse. Yeah, TRUMOTION's the wave, call it the new rave. Get your gear, step up, no time to behave. Scan that code, the deal's too sweet. Karate swag's here, time to bring the heat.
Thank you, sponsor.
Yeah.
All right. Now, again, moving along to our top 5. This week's top 5 is top 5 favorite breakfast cereals.
Breakfast cereals?
I don't normally eat a whole lot of cereal, especially now. Most of the time I don't really eat breakfast.
Right.
You know
what happens when you get old.
Yeah, and I wake up early enough to eat breakfast.
Me too.
I just don't. So, I'll go first.
Okay.
My top 5, in no particular order, is Fruity Pebbles.
Okay.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Nice.
Frosted Flakes.
Nice.
Honey Bunches of Oats.
Oh, there we go.
And the Reese's cereal. The Reese's, I don't even know what it's called.
Reese's Puffs.
Is it Reese's Puffs?
I think so.
Yeah, Reese's Puffs. An honorable mention would probably be like Apple Jacks or something.
Apple Jacks. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What was the most common cereal growing up for you?
None.
None? You were a zero cereal?
Kind of. Either that or like Cheerios.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. And then if you were lucky, you got Honey Nut Cheerios.
That's right. That was special occasion.
Probably my favorite cereal growing up, and if I could get it, I always would. I don't even know what kind of cereal it was. It was probably more like Captain Crunch, but it was a box that had wrestling characters on it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it almost looked like the Wheaties box, but it wasn't Wheaties. And it had like this Captain Crunch style type kernels. And I don't, because I used to love the at the time it was the WWF.
Right.
And I loved watching that as a kid.
Did you ever get any toys in your cereal box?
Yes.
What'd you get?
Like silly, stupid toys.
Yeah, that's what
that broke or didn't do anything.
I got a cereal box when Star Wars Episode 3 came out.
Yeah.
And it had a lightsaber in there.
Really?
Like the coolest thing.
That is pretty cool.
It was really cool. My list is Frosted Mini Wheats.
Frosted Mini Wheats.
I've got let's do Rice Chex.
Okay.
I've got a specific brand of cereal called Puffins.
Puffins.
They're like little puffed
Okay.
things. They're pretty good. I've got Captain Crunch. It's kind of a crunchy one.
Yeah, they'll chew up your
And
mouth.
then I do also Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay.
And then honorable mention, what I had the most was Cheerios growing up.
Yeah.
Because they were cheap.
Yeah, they were cheap and they were quote unquote healthy for
And
you.
there was one time when I was like, okay, I'm going to buy a bag of puffed rice.
Yeah.
And it was, the bags are so big because it doesn't fill you up. And you eat like a third of the bag.
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan of, oh shoot, what are they called? The Rice Krispie.
Rice Krispie?
Yeah, the Rice Krispie
Okay, the
cereals.
ones that pop.
Yeah, because again, like right after they popped, it was just like dissolves in the milk.
Yep.
And it's like, well, might as well just drink this bowl of cereal.
That's right.
So, but no, I forgot about Frosted Mini Wheats. Those are good.
Those are way too sweet.
Yeah, those are good.
Honorable mention also for his Reese's Puffs. I got into those when I had money.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll buy a $4 box of cereal that gives me 3 bowls.
Yeah, exactly. There is actually a place here in Utah, I believe it's called Straws,
Okay.
where it's like $12 for all you can eat cereal.
No way.
And they have hundreds of styles of cereal.
No way. That's
Any
so cool.
cereal you can think of, they have.
Whoa.
And they have different types of milk you can use. And they actually tell you, like, hey, if you combine these cereals, it'll taste like this.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
Cereal bar.
Maya's been to it a bunch of times. And I feel like I need to give it a try too. So they're like, hey, do you want to go? And it was like one time when I was like working and I was like, no. I was like, dude, you can't get full on cereal. And they're like, yeah, that's why it's all you can eat cereal. You have like 5 bowls. And I was like, well, I guess that's technically true.
That is funny.
So, yeah, no, it's funny kind of looking back on the different cereals. I think I was talking with James about this last night in class. Like, God, like my grandparents and like my dad for a little bit, they would have that grape nuts cereal.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that was
painful.
That was like a dentist's favorite. That was like their
You have to
insurance
let them sit
policy
for the perfect amount because then they're good.
Yeah.
But if they sit for any longer, they're mush.
They're mush. Yep. But if you just try to eat it right away, like you might as well just start taking a chisel to your teeth.
Right.
They were so hard.
Crunchy.
Gosh. But yeah.
Am I eating rocks? I don't know.
Exactly. Grape nuts. Ugh.
They weren't really flavorful at all.
No, they were just like bran.
They were bran.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some bad experiences with bran. Usually the raisins were just too hard.
Yeah, raisin bran. Ugh.
You need to have like separate raisins to add it.
Yeah. But let us know what your guys' favorite type of cereal is or was, or the Mr. T cereal.
Ooh.
That was always fun.
Never had that one. That's fun.
Yeah, that was an old like 80s style cereal. It's also on the movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Okay.
Did you ever see that?
Nope.
Yeah, he pours himself some cereal on his pancakes and bacon, and he goes, "I pity the fool who don't eat my cereal." And yeah, so it's good times. So comment if you've ever remembered the Mr. T cereal, if you even know who Mr. T is. I feel half these people don't even know
All
who
these
Mr.
young
T
people.
is. Yeah, if you don't know who Mr. T is, I pity the fool. So, all right, moving on to our next section, the Ask a Sensei. All right, this week's questions are kind of all over the place.
All over the place?
But I think they're worth asking. So, first question is, what's your favorite comfort food?
What?
Yeah.
Comfort food?
Comfort food.
What is comfort?
Comfort food is like when you eat it and you just instantly feel better, and it's like you get a warm hug from just eating it, and it reminds you of like security and being at home and feeling like happy and stress-free. So, comfort food.
Okay. I guess my favorite comfort food is a dish specifically.
Okay.
And I think It used to be my favorite food,
Mm-hmm.
but then I realized it was really nerdy, and it's like I shouldn't say that out loud to other people.
Nerdy? Who
Yeah.
cares if it's nerdy?
I know. I've developed self-confidence while
Oh,
taking
okay.
karate now.
There you go.
But I used to say that my favorite dish as a child was eggplant parmesan.
Eggplant parmesan. That's
Yeah.
not really nerdy. It's just gross.
Oh, see? I just mocked everywhere I go.
Eggplant. Interesting.
Yeah,
Eggplant
but it's like
parmesan.
you fry the eggplant, so
Yeah.
it's like fried food, but it's like with tomato sauce.
Yeah.
I love tomato sauce. I like
it is pretty good.
almost anything tomato.
Interesting because I only like tomato sauce. Like I don't like raw
I
tomatoes.
don't like raw tomato.
No, but I like salsa.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't like tomatoes on like my sandwiches or burgers or stuff like that.
Okay.
But like
They're
If
they're
it's-
interesting to pull off on sandwiches and burgers. They do make
Yeah.
things soggy.
yeah, but I like red sauce. I like
Red
tomato
sauces,
sauce.
Yeah.
Ketchup, like I'll use it sparingly. I'm not one of these like ketchup lovers. My dad is a huge ketchup lover.
Okay.
He'll put it on
Everything.
damn near everything.
Okay.
But it's good sparingly.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, like I'm all about tomato sauce. So.
Tomato sauce is really, really good.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite of the Italian sauces.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
definitely.
it can be made multiple different ways. You can make it spicy. You can make it
Mhm.
creamy.
Yep.
So yeah, pretty much all that is like you know what chicken parm is.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing, but
Yeah.
instead of chicken,
It's,
it's
an eggplant.
So I guess I could say chicken parm is also one of my comfort foods.
So just any sort of
anything
that,
with
like,
really a red tomato sauce and cheese is really my favorite.
and then
food.
do you bake it afterwards? Okay.
Yes, you bake
So any sort of like fried, breaded something,
Yep.
sauce, cheese, bake it again.
That's right.
Okay.
That's my comfort food there.
There you go. That's pretty good.
Yep.
I'm just not a huge eggplant fan, but
See the
if
insides.
if I would be if I would eat eggplant, it would be like that.
It would be fried and
Fried,
tasted nothing like
Breaded,
itself.
fried, marinara sauce or marinara, whatever you want to call it.
Marinara.
Cheese, bake it again. That's how I would eat it. So no, that's pretty. Do you like it with anything like pasta with it or just
Nope,
that?
by itself. It's
Okay.
kind of a complete meal. You've got your vegetable and the tomato and the eggplant.
Yeah.
You've got your starch. You've got your nothing else.
Your protein from the
salt,
cheese.
Yep, protein from the cheese.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's how I used to explain pizza to my
Exactly.
family. It's like
Pizza's a
pizza.
complete meal, too.
It's a complete meal. I've got my carbs. I've got my vegetables. Sometimes, well, no pizza or red sauce. So you got your vegetables.
That's
You got
right.
your protein.
Sometimes a green bell pepper slips on there, but not all the time.
Yep.
Sometimes an olive slips on there, but not all the time.
Olives and mushrooms are good on a pizza.
My favorite is pizza topping has those two things on
Yeah.
there.
I like, pepperoni and sausage as well. But yeah, I used to tell my parents all the time, it's the most complete meal. Well, we've since learned that the food pyramid is upside down.
Yeah,
But
it's not true.
so I used to say, but look, the food pyramid's got everything on the food pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I would dare say my comfort food, especially like thinking right now because it's cold,
Yeah.
is chili.
Chili.
Yeah.
What makes a chili for you?
Well, if you're talking to a Texan,
Mm-hmm.
chili does not have beans. I like beans in chili.
Okay.
So I make
You're not a Texan, though.
No, I'm not a Texan.
That's fine.
But yeah, in Texas chili, they have zero beans.
Mm-hmm.
It's just meat and
That's why I live in Utah.
tomato sauce and their spices. So maybe an onion. No, but we like to make a crock pot chili at our house where it's just, ground beef or pork, whatever ground meat you want to use.
Whatever you can get on the roadkill on the way
Yeah,
home.
exactly. If you're Xavier Legette's from the Panthers, he eats raccoon.
Ooh.
In fact, he had coon for Thanksgiving.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's a good old country boy.
Yep.
And honestly, if you don't know who he is, you should look him up. They have subtitles underneath when he's talking because you can't understand a single thing he's saying.
Oh, wow.
He's one of those like, yeah, do you hear do you know how many here? And you're just like, what did he just say? So it's like the guy on the Waterboy,
Yeah.
which was that on my list for sports movies last week? I don't think so.
No.
Waterboy should have been on
Maybe.
there too. That's a great movie.
Oh.
But yeah, no, ground meat, onions. Shanna doesn't like bell peppers, but bell peppers. This is where you can start kind of messing with it. You can use whatever type of peppers or chilies you want. Sometimes you use raw jalapenos, serranos, Anaheims, whatever. Or you can buy the canned chilies or both. Most of the time we do like the Hatch green chilies.
Right.
Shanna's and Maya don't do heat very well.
Oh.
So we got to keep it fairly mild.
Really? So you've got the hot stuff?
I like spicier things, but not to the point to where it's like all you taste is hot or if it ruins the food. So like we've talked before, it's like you can have something so hot that where you're like all I taste is heat.
Yep.
Or my mouth is so on fire, I don't even know what.
You just wait for your tongue to lose its nerve endings.
Exactly.
That's why you eat that stuff.
So, yeah, and then your spices. The spices we like to use are chili powder, cumin, ground cumin, which, God, that stuff smells so good. I don't know what it is about ground cumin. Salt, pepper. I like to try to sneak in extra stuff, and then Shanna's always like, what else did you put in here? And Maya and I always harass her because she has like 0 taste buds, but yet she can tell if I snuck something in. She's like, this tastes different. I was like, how the hell do you know that? You don't even know what I'm putting in here, let alone how to cook it. How do you know something's different in here? She's like, it tastes funny. And I was like, what in the world? Yeah, she hates smoked paprika.
Wow.
So we always try to sneak that in, and she always sniffs it out. It's ridiculous. She'd be like the greatest like drug sniffer out there. You're like, oh, something smells funny in here. But yeah, just whatever kind of spices you want, and then you just leave that in the crock pot for like 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours. Oh, and beans. Then we use red kidney beans, black beans, and then we like to put corn.
Corn in the chili.
Yep.
Nice.
If you've never put corn in your chili, you're missing out.
Wow.
So.
Okay.
So with chili, do you just like it straight in the bowl, or do you like to put stuff with it?
I put cornbread.
Okay.
And cheese. And sour cream. And hot sauce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the sour cream, onions, and cheese. Just raw onions. My dad would always get chili and rice.
Chili and rice?
They would do chili and rice. Another good combo is chili and mashed potatoes.
Interesting. Have you ever... Well, this is like an Ohio thing, but there's called the Skyline chili.
Yep, where you put it on spaghetti.
Put it on spaghetti and you just pile on cheese on top.
Yeah, that's a Midwest thing. They do that in Cincinnati too.
Cincinnati,
Ohio, yeah. Yeah, that's a total Midwest thing.
Yep.
I've never personally had it, but I don't know how it could be bad.
I've had it. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you like chili and you like
spaghetti. It's a
spaghetti,
comfort food. You feel very comfortable.
Yeah. Just something that, like after you're done, you're like,
I don't want to do anything now.
I feel pretty good. Or if it's cold outside.
Couch. I'm going to take a nap.
Yeah. Chili is like even better when it's cold.
Oh, yes.
Like you can have it during the summer, like whatever, that's fine. But for some reason it tastes even better when it's cold outside. So I don't know. Maybe we'll make chili this weekend for.
Sounds like it.
Wild card weekend. Playoffs have started. Yes, it's good times. The Eagles have to win 4 games, and then we won the Super Bowl. We can do it. But moving on to the next question. Always sneak the Eagles in there. Is if you could have any animal as a pet, what would you choose and why?
What?
Any animal as a pet.
Any animal as a pet?
Any animal as a pet.
Oh, man, I like my pets already.
Hopefully you don't pick like a dog, because you can always get a dog as a pet. What if that's your answer? That's your answer.
Oh, let's see. Come back to me.
All right, I'll go first.
Yeah, you've got this figured out.
I would pick a gorilla.
Really?
Yeah, a big old silverback gorilla.
Really?
Yeah, because one, you can teach it to sign, so you can talk to it, and it can talk back with you. And who in the world is going to mess with you if you've got a gorilla?
Not many.
Yeah, and it can like do tasks around the house too. and that sucker is strong as all get out. I could be like, hey, pick this up. And it'd be like, one hand. Or like, hey, lift me up here. I can't reach it. Picks me up like a little baby. And I could get it. We could go out on walks. I don't need to put it on a leash. It'll just walk next to me.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And I'd be like, hey, wave to everybody. And it'd be like, yeah. Then if I need to be like, hey, scare this person. Oh, God. Dude, could you imagine if a gorilla
pants.
charged at you and like growled and showed its teeth and like started slamming the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we need to clean up on aisle 2.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yep.
But I would choose a gorilla.
That's a really good answer.
Yeah, and if I needed a good hug, could give me a big old hug. Granted, I would make sure it smelled good. So, could teach it to like use the bathroom, or just like it go outside. You wouldn't really have to clean up after it. It eats vegetables, so you don't need to buy a whole lot of
protein. You've thought about this a lot.
I just thought of that.
Yeah.
I just thought of that. Because I'm thinking if I got to feed it, man, dude, if it was like a carnivore.
If you had to like go out and like buy a bunch of meat.
Because I thought tiger at first, that'd be cool. But I'd spend a fortune in food just to feed it.
Right.
That's not even including food for me. But like a gorilla would be like, hey, go out and eat some of the tree leaves. And
makes sense.
It'd be fine. Or like, hey, go eat some grass.
Yeah.
Go eat some grass. So I would choose a gorilla.
Okay. Well, you've not only picked a really good one, but also like shot holes in the one I was looking at. So I think I'm going to pick a bear.
A bear.
Yes.
Bear was second on my list.
Yeah, see. Bears are good because you can also teach them. They're very trainable.
Yeah.
Especially if you get them young. They can dance. They can like do unicycles and stuff. I've seen like one video on this. They're omnivores, so they eat meat and grass and leaves and whatnot.
Berries and
berries.
Yeah.
But you can ride them. They're big.
Yeah.
They can like get on them. And
now, what kind of bear would you get?
Oh man. Well, if I could control their aggression, I would get a grizzly. Not
a polar bear?
No, those are weird.
Yeah, they're weird.
Well, yeah, they live in like the ice. So.
Well, they could live here.
No, they wouldn't be polar bears then. They'd just be regular bears.
They'd be white bears.
White bears.
Apparently, they have dark skin.
Interesting.
Yeah.
To absorb sunlight.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but white fur to blend in with their environment.
Makes sense. I don't think polar bears are as omnivorous as other bears because they live in an area with no
plant life.
Yeah. So they're consistently killing things to eat.
And they're the only creature on Earth that are not afraid of anything.
They're not afraid of anything?
No, they have no natural fear of anything.
They just don't. Well, global warming, but okay.
They don't care.
They don't care. They're like, okay.
No, they see a human, they don't care.
Well, of course not.
They don't know if that it can shoot them.
Same as penguins.
Penguins fear like.
Well, yeah, they fear like getting eaten by a leopard seal and a polar bear, but they'll come up to people because they're like, "Oh, what's this?
Yeah.
What's this dorky looking two-legged thing?"
Yeah, but a lot of animals have learned to fear humans because obviously they have bad contacts with them.
Right.
But
first impression, is a lasting one.
Kind of curious on how many times, or if I'm pretty sure they do. Polar bears come in contact with orcas. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what about your favorite sea creature pet?
Sea creature?
Yeah.
Oh, I would try to, especially if it was like it wouldn't eat me.
Right.
The great white shark.
Great white shark.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Are you kidding me? Like, dude.
Done the same.
Like, yeah. Let's see. Like, I got a shark for a pet. Like, I can grab onto its fin like a dolphin. And it'll take me wherever I want.
Maybe. Yeah.
I was thinking an orca because those things are very, very smart. Apparently, there are tribes. Oh, I don't remember what country, but they work together with the orcas to trap food.
Whoa.
Yeah, like the orcas will get in a line and push the fish towards the shore of this tribe, and in return, the tribe will feed the orcas. So through generations,
fish,
they've
right?
learned to
Huh.
work together. Like, hey, we'll get fed if we do this, and the tribe gets their food because they do that. It's really crazy.
That's crazy. That's so cool.
Yeah, and I've also seen videos of. Granted, I turned it off before it gets too gory, but like
What?
seals on icebergs.
Oh, they
And-
get flipped, and it's like, woo.
Yeah, the orcas will come up as a group and create a massive wake to buck the seals off the iceberg.
Yep.
And you're like,
They're
what?
That's cruel and unusual.
Yeah,
But
it's like
hey,
they're
they need food.
yeah. Well, I yeah,
seals
that's a thing.
Seals are dumb. So
Yeah, I mean they may be cute and cuddly, but they're also kind of mean too.
I mean, they eat penguins.
Yeah, who would eat a penguin?
I know.
Speaking of penguins,
Okay.
kind of side note, you know the actor Benedict Cumberbatch, right?
Yes.
Have you seen that video where he narrates a National Geographic type show and he can't say the word penguins?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
And it gets worse every time he tries to
so
say it. I'm like, wow, this is a very well spoken individual.
Well, we're
Can't say the word penguins. Penguins. And you're just like, wow, okay. But a bear, going back to bear.
Yep. That's the one. Mostly because it's like, half the year it'll be asleep.
It's true.
It'll hibernate and it'll be, there. And then the rest of the year it'll be around. So it's
Yeah.
like you can get your break.
Bears was my second choice.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I was thinking, like tiger, bears,
Mm-hmm.
gorillas.
We're Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah. Wolves also.
Wolves would be interesting.
Yeah. Because they're very dog-like
But then
tendencies.
they'll take my dogs and turn them against me.
Yeah. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, I would go with the gorilla for sure for me.
Okay.
But let us know what you guys would pick if you could have anything in the world as a pet, what would it be?
Animal in the world.
An elephant would be cool too.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. But technically people in India have elephants, so I guess it's not that super uncommon.
Yeah.
But I say it like it's not a big thing. Yeah,
It'd be crazy cool.
that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Moving on to our final question, and this could be like a two-parter. You can use this personally, and you can use this dojo-wise too.
Okay.
Okay, it's what accomplishments are you the most proud of?
What accomplishments am I the most proud of?
Or accomplishment.
Accomplishment?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, dojo thing is pretty, getting your black belt is a huge achievement. And
Yeah.
shouldn't be underrated at all. But also the accomplishment of, connecting with others and helping them become better people is something that I do a lot, but it's like, do I take it for granted?
Yeah.
Because not many people can do that.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, and frankly, you're able to really help people get what they are looking for.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's big. Outside of the dojo, I mean, I started a business. That's an accomplishment. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of things, but it's like at the same time, it opens up so many new doors and new opportunities, and it's like you're finally taking charge of your own life.
Yeah,
you're
there's
able-
something to be said for what you just said.
Like you rely on yourself to get paid, but
Mhm.
at the same time, you control how much you get paid.
Yeah, there's no glass ceiling.
Yeah, there's no glass ceiling.
You can't go right up to it and be like, "Oh man, look how much nicer it is way up there."
Yeah,
No, it's like Willy Wonka.
exactly.
Just break through it.
Break through it. That's pretty big. I've also like things with church, like being baptized and
Yeah.
making a commitment to something that's greater than you
Mm-hmm.
is very important. And then going to college, getting a degree, finishing college is
Yeah.
apparently not many people do that.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of people do, but there are a lot of people that don't.
Yeah. No, and I'm always like, I never will downplay somebody's ability to get a degree.
Right.
I think that's fantastic. I just wish that more people would use their degrees.
I agree, and I definitely am of the mindset that education or schooling is not always education.
Yes.
They don't always go hand in hand.
Yeah.
You continue to learn a lot and a lot more outside of school. School is really just a conditioner, a trainer to get you ready to be like, okay, can you manage life? Can you get up at the same time and go do the same thing for the same number of days a week?
I think it's Albert Einstein that says he'll never let education get in the way of his learning.
That's right.
So, I mean, I could be misquoting, but he has a saying that it's very similar to that.
Right.
No, I mean, I have my viewpoints on higher education. Learning and education, everybody needs to do all the time.
Right.
All the time. And if you're doing something that betters yourself and you're doing it for the fact of bettering yourself, I am all aboard about that. So I just wish people would actually use their degrees to better themselves, not just as a virtue signal, being like, I have a degree, so
I am a master.
But by that, I'm better than so-and-so. It's like, no, congratulations. It's just like a black belt. Just because you get your black belt doesn't mean you stop training.
Right.
Because the second you stop training, you're not a black belt anymore. You were a black belt, but the second you stop training, technically you're no longer a black belt.
Wow. Okay.
Because if you think about it, if you're doing it, okay, you're training, yeah, you're a black belt, you're a martial artist. If you stop training, you were.
Former martial artist.
Yeah.
Former black belt.
It's just like, let's take cops.
Okay.
When you're working, you're a cop. When you stop working or retire, you're a former cop.
Okay.
Does that kind of make sense?
No, I get it.
So I will never downplay somebody's accomplishments in that aspect, but the second you stop doing it, you're a former. It's just like military.
Or just like football.
Or just like football. Exactly. You were this. Not saying that that's any less of an achievement, but never stop learning. So like you just said, your degree was helping you to continue to learn, which that's the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah. I just feel so bad for these people that spend the time to get a degree and then they don't do anything with it.
Yeah, frankly, it's just you're not taking full advantage of the life you've been given.
Exactly.
And maybe we're just a little biased because we've had someone so close to us pass away.
Yeah.
But it's like you got to take advantage of every single day in your life, and you can't. And I know there's jobs that are important. We need standard 9-to-5s to run and make sure things are working.
Yeah.
But don't let that be the reason you get up.
Yeah.
Get up and live your life.
Yeah, don't survive life, live life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't let the days slip by just by
No,
working.
I have a family member, great person. They got a really expensive degree from a very well-known university, and their degree is sitting on the floor in their parents' house.
Yeah.
And it's like, they don't even use it. They're not even in the field.
They're not in the field?
That they got their degree in.
Wow.
And it's like, why would you do that? If you don't want to go into that, why did you even spend at least the 4 years to get that? So, I don't know. But a big congrats to anybody that gets a degree. You worked hard for it. You should feel very proud of it. It's an achievement. Just like black belt. Congratulations to anybody that got their black belt. It's an achievement. It's an accomplishment to be proud of. So, I would probably have to say the biggest one for dojo-wise is, still teaching 17 years later.
Whoa.
You know? Or 16 years later, like however long it's been.
How long do you think you'd be teaching?
I never really put a timetable on it, but nobody believed it.
Nobody believed it?
Yeah, like very few people believed I would still be, quote unquote, having this as a career.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of when are you going to get a real job?
Oh,
and, all that stuff. So, Yeah, not too many people believe that I was making the smart or right decision. Maybe outside of my parents.
Well, that's nice that your parents believe.
Yeah, no, my parents believed in me. And like my great grandma believed in me. But not too many other people did. And, that's to be expected.
That's interesting.
Because it's far different than what anybody else would have done.
It's not anything people can relate to.
And like you just said, you're in charge of your own destiny. So if you're successful, that's directly
Because of you.
because of you. If you're not successful, it's directly because of you.
Right.
I mean, there are very few exceptions to the rule, but like what we talked about earlier, you can't base decisions off of exceptions to the rule.
Yeah, we talked about that before the show.
So, yeah, there are some times where people don't make it because their dojo burns down.
Right.
That you have no control over.
That makes
So,
yeah.
but if you're successful, it's directly because of your efforts. If you're not successful, it's directly because of your efforts.
That's right.
So there's really no looking any other way but that way. So if you want to be successful, well, you have every capability of doing that, but are you willing to do that? So, and I just kind of look at the people that I've worked with or been associated with in the past, and my God, they were far more talented and smarter than me. And I'm still here and they're not.
Yeah, that's it. Wow.
And I'm not taking away anything from those other people, but I was just like, my goodness, they had everything going for them. And for some reason it didn't work for them. So I'm very blessed to still be able to teach and to continue to teach. And I'm very thankful for it each and every day we come in the studio. So yeah, anytime somebody starts complaining about their job, I have to just tell them to shut up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to hear it.
It's
like you have every capability and choice to change your situation, but you don't. You choose to complain about it. But I know some people are in different circumstances. I'm not trying to discredit anybody, but I like having the responsibility be mine, not, I don't want to work for someone else's dream. I want to work for my own dream.
Right.
So I don't want to help someone else. I don't want to make someone else wealthy when I'm not becoming financially secure.
When you're getting a 2% raise.
Yeah, exactly. Now, people that like the 9-to-5, God bless them.
There's a security in that.
Shanna's a 9-to-5er. She loves working 9-to-5. She's very good at what she does, too.
That's good.
And she loves what she does. And that's how you have to take it. Okay, not everybody's meant to work for themselves or own their own business or something like that. And that's fine. I'm not taking away anything from anybody. Everybody has their responsibilities. Everybody has their strong points. And knowing what those are is very important. So, and stop trying to be something you're not. That's the biggest thing.
Be honest with yourself.
Be honest with yourself. So, but moving on, we've got didn't include it last week because I forgot.
We had a special episode last week.
Yeah, special episode last week. But this week we're getting back to it, our fight scene. This week's fight scene, it's an interesting one. So we try to do the whole, since it's wintertime, fire and ice. California's on fire, Utah's cold.
Ice, yeah.
So we've got Frozone from The Incredibles versus Johnny Storm, the Human Torch.
Wow.
So literal fire and ice. All right, so we've got
break it down.
These two fighting in, I don't know, whatever city.
Incredible City.
I don't know what that city's called. Sure. So, who you got? Do you got Johnny Storm or do you got Frozone?
I got Frozone.
Frozone?
Yep. I don't feel the advantage. Plus, just the interesting mechanics of the city, which, I'm trying to find the name of. Frozone's interesting. Both of them do element manipulation, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing with ice. If you freeze air, it no longer becomes usable for fire. It's too cold.
Yeah.
So he can just turn off the ability for Johnny Storm to make more fire. And then with that, you can basically cold snap him. And basically I give it to Frozone round 1.
Yeah. They both have the ability to like move around in the air because he can use his...
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
He's got a disc.
He doesn't necessarily
fly.
fly, but he can go in the air and appear to be flying or skating in the air, whatever you want to call it. Johnny Storm does have the ability of flight, but honestly, there are very few times where someone gets home field advantage taken away from him.
Right.
I kind of don't see this one happening either. He knows the city more.
Here's the thing. Both worlds have superheroes with superpowers.
Yeah.
So in reality, the retro futuristic part of the Incredible City might leave the edge versus the modernism of the Marvel universe.
Yeah, just basic New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's where they're from, is New York City.
That makes sense.
Like 90% of...
Marvel does the good thing. It doesn't change city names very much.
No. Yeah, they're actually in New York.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to give the fight in Incredible City to Frozone also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like what you said. I didn't really take into account that he could literally like condense the air because it's cold.
Yeah.
And make it harder for fire to actually survive.
Yeah. Well, both can create their element essentially.
Yeah. So I'm giving it to Frozone.
Round 1.
Now we've got round 2 in New York City.
New York City.
Yes.
Big Apple.
And let's say New York in the summertime.
In the summertime. Whoa.
Yes. Now, if it was New York in the wintertime,
there might be some.
I think it might be a little different.
It might be Frozone again.
Yeah, because it does get cold in New York.
In the hot,
humid summer.
Humidity.
In summertime, obviously, I've got Johnny Storm. Well, if we're thinking humid, he could turn the ice into icicles.
Yeah.
So
Johnny Storm can pretty much probably, he turns himself into fire, right?
Yeah.
So he's automatically consuming things around him.
Yep.
And it makes it very difficult for things to hit him.
Yeah.
And he flies. So what he essentially does is he'll fly into things. Frozone uses ice to build things, right? So he builds a wall. He tries to keep back the bug from the one scene that he's in.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I think just with the familiarity of the packed streets of New York City, the sharp blocks, the height, I think this battle might go across some of the bay, and the rivers and whatnot. I think it'll be a more drawn out fight.
Yeah.
But I think Human Torch will win.
I've got nothing else to explain to that. I think that's a great explanation. Thank you for welcome to our TED Talk.
Yeah. I've thought about this too much.
Apparently,
in the 12 hours that I've realized.
I honestly, I agree with you.
Okay.
I've got nothing else to go with that. So we've got 1-1. Now they're in a cage, no superpowers. I got Johnny Storm. Frozone seems kind of like a weenie.
Frozone?
Yeah.
Where's my super suit?
Well, is my super suit? He doesn't seem like the very good hand-to-hand fighter.
Okay.
I don't even think I've ever seen him throw a punch.
So, yeah. And Johnny Storm, though.
He does shoot projectiles as well.
He shoots beams.
Yeah.
Right? But he builds flame form, right?
Yeah.
Which we won't use in the fight.
No.
But basically what he does is he becomes invulnerable to convention attacks because of his heat.
Yeah.
So he's used to conventional attacks before his, I guess it's a mutation or thing.
I don't really know what you would call it.
It's
not a mutation
very well
because they got hit by cosmic rays.
Okay. Radiation.
Yeah, so it does change their DNA.
Right.
But they're not born with it.
Right.
So it's not a true mutation, so to speak. They're not mutants like the X-Men.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Either way,
I've got Johnny Storm.
I feel
like he
kind
just
of
has
a punk. Probably's been in a fight or two.
Exactly.
We'll probably be able to beat up Frozone, who...
Yeah, I feel like
beat.
he's got more hand-to-hand combat
I
experience than
agree.
Johnny Storm or than
I'm giving
Frozone.
this
Yeah, I'm
Human
giving
Torch.
this 2-1.
2-1.
Human Torch.
Human Torch.
But let us know what you guys think if you got Frozone or Johnny Storm. I don't even know what Frozone's real name is.
Lucius.
Lucius. Yeah. All right. I think Frozone is funnier.
I think so too. Lucius Best.
Lucius Best.
Yep.
All right. So I'm giving it to Johnny Storm over Lucius Best.
There we go.
So let us know what you guys think in the comment down below. And moving on to our joke of the week. This week's joke is Harry Potter themed.
Ooh.
Yeah, it goes, how does Harry Potter go down a hill?
I don't know.
Walking. J.K. Rowling. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man, that got me.
So if you know Harry Potter at all, you get the joke. If you don't get the joke, should watch Harry Potter. Shame on you.
Oh.
So funny movie. Or not funny. Good movies.
How does a penguin build its house?
I don't know.
It glues it together.
It glues it together. That's another good one. Very good. All right, time for our shout-outs. Who you got for a shout-out this week?
I'm shouting out all the students who showed up for Tuesday's class and came back came back Thursday with a better mood.
Yeah.
I know we're still dealing with things and there's no timeline on that, but I definitely saw an improvement from everybody, and I was definitely happy. Although, given the somber occasion, I understand. But everyone put out a good mood, a good attitude, and I'm shouting them all out today. So
yeah, I'm going to shout out Paige specifically.
Paige, yeah.
She and Liam were very close.
Yep.
They obviously taught together for a long time, and it's been, I'm not saying harder for anybody else, but she's been taking it pretty hard. Yeah. And the fact that she still came in this week, even though she did not want to, and she still kind of pushed through it and was like, I still need to make an appearance. I need to show up. That took a lot of courage, and she did better. She did better Thursday than she did Tuesday, but it was still tough for her. So, yeah, I said that we all are gonna be experiencing a lot of firsts.
Yeah.
These next couple of weeks, and each time we deal with those, it's tough. Like, for example, last night we did the Dojo Olympics, and that was one of his favorite classes.
Yep.
And I didn't do that because it was just the time of the month that we typically do it. Usually the first week of the month we do Dojo Olympics. So when she found out that it was Dojo Olympics, it was hard for her. And then when we had another student, Kai, he came in early. He's like, hey, can I help out with anything? I was like, sure, check the air fresheners. That was Liam's job.
Yeah.
That was hard for her to hear. So, yeah, so a lot of people are experiencing a lot of firsts with this whole ordeal, but the fact that she came in, she powered through, she expressed all her emotions very well. I told her, don't hide anything, don't try to cover up anything. She kept telling me, I don't know why this is so, like, I feel like I should be better, and it's like, no,
they don't know what to
you don't know how that's
compare
gonna
it to.
yeah.
So
I go, you're far too young to have to deal with something like this. I go, the first time I had to deal with a close tragedy, I was like 16, 17 years old. Now, had people died before that? Yes. But I wasn't old enough to understand. You know that they're gone, but you don't quite understand the impact. But then when you are old enough, you really don't have one until later on in life. But to have to go through this at some of these kids' ages, it's tough. It's tough. So, Paige, great job. Keep staying strong. Keep powering through. And we'll all get through this together. So, but moving on to the end of the show, the final thoughts. Yeah, that whole, like, being present, keep making an impact.
What are our power words for 2025?
They are, it's grit, consistency, impact, and I wrote it down. but I can't remember where I wrote it. It's grit,
Oh, no.
consistency, impact, and growth.
Growth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Grit, consistency, impact, and growth.
Grit, consistency, impact, and growth.
Yes.
Okay.
So keep making an impact in people's lives. Keep being present
Yep.
in people's lives. Don't take today for granted, because it's not. Again, we say it, but we fully expect tomorrow to be here. But don't take today for granted for the sake of tomorrow. So, but thanks for kicking it with us next time. Just a little FYI, a little teaser for everybody out there. We will be having some special guests come on the show in the next couple of weeks. So make sure you stay tuned to see who we'll have on the show. We'll have a longtime listener, first time appearance on the show.
Nice.
So I'm excited to get these people in, excited to hear some of their stories and do the show with them. So make sure you kick it with us the next couple of weeks so you can hear from some of our special guests. But thanks for spending the time with us. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the show.
Sure you share the show.
Yeah, we want to try to grow the show so we can help making an impact in more people's lives.
Please.
So, but have a great day, everybody, and we'll kick it with you next time.
Kick it with us next week. Bye.